Now we'll move on to a report of March of Mission. This is basically a report on our pledges and giving from our congregations. So what I have on the screen now are sort of two charts giving the 2021 results of March of Mission giving and the 2021 projections. Starting out on the left-hand side, you can see the average pledges from the congregations from 2016 to 2018. The total amount turns out that we have that the average among all congregations is at 28,736. Therefore, the March of Mission asking based on the formulas at the beginning of 2020 were the 4,041,562 March of Missions asking at the beginning of 2020. And after our adjustments mid-year, we projected $2,870,000 would be our income from our congregations. So at the end of the year in 2020, on December 31st, our actual amount we had on hand was $2,849,364. As I mentioned earlier, though, we actually had some projected pledges, even though they weren't paid at the end of 2020, we had some projections of dioceses that were sending in their payments coming in. So that the final payments for 2020 are that $2,919,350,000, even though there was a slight gap between what was pledged and what actually came in. We were over what we projected in our mid-year adjustment of $2,870,000. We are projecting that we will have $2,919,000 for 2020. That relates to a realization rate of 72% for 2020. What was actually the March of Mission asking versus what was actually paid in payments. We realized a 72% realization rate. And just projecting on the screen there, at the end of 2020, we're projecting another $69,000 coming in. That's how we came to the $2,919,000 number. Going into 2021, based on where we now are in terms of our 2021 March of Mission asking in pledges, first of all, the 3-year average of all congregations was $27 million, so slightly less than the 28 million 3-year average from 2016 to 2018. But because of the new formula that we adopted at convention in November of 2020, the March of Mission askings were only $3,709,000 in 2021. And our congregations at the end of 2021, as of now, have pledges of nearly $2,900,000. So that $2,899,000. That's hence why we budgeted $2,900,000 in our 2021 budget, is because the pledges so far coming in from parishes, either the actual pledges or the projected pledges, were coming up to that $2,900,000 number, which again was close to actually what was actually received in 2020. Based on the change in our formulas and the amount and projected amount coming in 2021, we're projecting a realization rate, meaning the amount actually given as pledges versus what was calculated in the asking, to be 78.2% for 2021, a significant increase where we were several years ago. So we're moving in the right direction. And part of that is the changes that were adopted by convention in 2020 that we think provided a much fairer formula for projecting askings from our congregations. And as of January 2021, we had 74 responses received. And of that 74 responses, 43 of them met their full askings in 2021. Again, thanks to the congregations who could make their full asking, and also thanks to the congregations who made a significant progress in pledging towards their askings in 2021. With that, my last slide is to thanks for all the people who've helped me over the last 2 or 3 months as I've transitioned into this treasurer's role starting in late November into now. First, Canon Phyllis Jones, our COO and CFO for the diocese. Tanya Rainey, the comptroller, their support with the financial reports and keeping everything on track at the diocesan offices. Also to Ann Noddy, the office manager at the diocese, for providing all the accurate information on spending for property and other expenses within the diocesan house. Steve Wells also for his work on the communications committee and helping put together this presentation. And finally, Bishop Stokes for all the support he's given along the way. And lastly, I'd like not to also recognize the members of our Diocesan Finance and Budget Committee, which are listed on the screen. Without them over the last few months of several meetings, going through and pulling together a budget for 2021 with a very short time frame, basically November through late December, we had to pull together the budget. Thanks for their support in helping me transition into this role, and look forward to continue working with them, continuing to work with them in future years.